welcome to the Pull Your Pocket. We talk about things that are related to recovery and personal growth and what it's like to be in this season where we're about to start trying for kids. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing 5 things that I'm doing to prepare in order to get pregnant. So we're not trying yet, but here's what I am doing to get ready for that season that is quickly approaching. All right, here we go. So I have been so excited to embark on this journey towards motherhood, and I've been watching a ton of videos, just watching people's experiences. So I wanted to share my experience today, and rather than it being advice-y or something like, here's what you should do before getting pregnant, I don't know what you should do, I don't even know what I should be doing, but here's what I am doing, and I'm just having fun getting prepared. So I hope you just take this as my experience and maybe it can help you on your experience, but my intention is not to help solve any medical issues or anything like that. It's just a fun video. Number 1, what I'm doing to get ready for pregnancy, not exactly taking anything as far as like a medicine, although I will get to that. I am working on my boundaries. So I have been working on boundaries since before we got married. We got really serious with just, that was what the Bible study was about that week, and from then it's totally changed our lives, and it's been about 5 years, I'm gonna guess, of doing this. So I am at a totally different stage than where I was at the beginning, and yet sometimes it feels like I'm at square one. But with my boundaries, I am talking about doing boundaries with everyone. So I have boundaries at work, at home, with my family, with extended family, with friends, with childhood friends, with new friends, with my counselor. I am trying to create a safe place for myself and a safe place for my new baby. And so this is a lot of mental work and going to therapy and just talking out what is stressing me out with my counselor and just figuring out, you know what, you need to say something there, and maybe there you just need to stop going there. So boundaries look so different for everyone, and I do not think I'm doing it perfectly at all, but I am just working on my own self-care and taking care of how I treat myself and how I let others treat myself. So it's really important to me and to my family, my husband, that we teach each other how to, I guess it's like a training. You're training people how to treat you, and they just don't know. Sometimes it's like, hello, obviously don't treat me that way, but I'm trying not to make anybody read my mind, or I'm really working on not reading other people's minds. I really struggle with people pleasing. It's a journey. I know I'm not alone in that, and so keep watching my videos. Let's talk. It's a journey, as you know. But just working on that. And so having boundaries means, for me, looking at where I'm getting triggered, where I'm getting angry and stressed out, and finally I've let my emotions come up, thank you therapy, and I've just put in a lot of recovery work to get to this place where I can go, that's anger and I need to pay attention to it, and here's what I need to do. So just taking steps all the time on saying no when I know I need to say no, which is so obvious when you say it, but when you're trying to do it, when I'm trying to do it, it's a mess. So I'm working on that because I know I'm gonna need that in my pregnancy and in parenthood and motherhood, because I've just heard it's crazy, and I've seen really cool moms that step up for their kids and protect them when they are vulnerable, as we all are when we're young. And I think we just let a lot of things go, and I'm learning that, you know what, I don't have to let it all go. I can start setting boundaries so that it doesn't keep coming up and that pattern doesn't keep happening, and just protecting myself. So that was number one, kind of a long one. Let's get to number two, which is kind of related. I'm doing an inventory. So I did this in Celebrate Recovery to work through my codependency. And what came up in my inventory was all my history. So they call it an inventory. I'm doing more of a basic one now. I'm not doing the 12-step inventory, but I'm using those tools of what I learned because they are daily amazing and helpful, and I totally recommend finding a recovery program in your area. Okay, so with my inventory, right now I'm just noticing what am I emotional about and what memories are still like coming up. I had a pretty traumatic memory that was coming up from kindergarten, just over and over again, and I decided, you know what, let's just talk it through with my counselor. I said, hey, had this thought come up, can we talk through it? And she's like, all right, go for it. And after I shared what had happened and what I experienced, it was really cool because she was like, why do you think that memory was coming up right now? And I didn't realize it until that moment, but the answer I gave was that I think it feels like a cleansing. Like it's this burden that I was carrying for, you know, this whole time, and especially recently, that I don't want to carry into motherhood. It feels so freeing to say that, and it's such a relief. In that moment though, it really hurt, and I cried a lot, and past Mandy would have gone, that is too scary, I don't want to face that, but it still would have been affecting me. And it feels so good now to let that come up and to work it out in that safe place, and for my counselor to get it and go, I really think it is. I think it is this cleansing journey that you're on, so that way you aren't carrying that in to a pregnancy, because you don't want all this stress to be on that baby, because it really does affect the kid even, you know, before they're born. But then once they're born, kids are emotional sponges. And I know I won't be able to be perfect, and that's not my goal. I'm going to point them to the perfect father. But I need to work on my own stuff. Number three, I'm taking my prenatals. I started those about 3 months ago, and they've actually made me feel a lot better. Like I have more energy, and I'm guessing that's what you need. And so I've been taking plenty of prenatals to get my body ready and to make sure I have the nutrients before baby comes for months and months, just so that it is fully ready when that baby is here to be able to drain me of my nutrients, and I'll still have nutrients going in. So I find that one very important. Along the same kind of track, I'm just going to keep it as my number three. I've been charting my cycles. Now, I've been doing this since before we got married, because we did a time period of natural family planning to avoid pregnancy. And I did end up stopping that when I got on birth control, just to help with some medical stuff that was going on with my PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. And that did really help, but I wanted to have the birth control out of my system and to just be getting my regular cycles back. So we have gone back to the natural family planning and other ways of protection. That has really helped to just know that I have a regular cycle, and to be able to just track it and see if there are issues before we start trying, because obviously if while charting I'm seeing that I'm not ovulating, then I want to talk to my doctor about that. So far I'm feeling really good. I am really excited with how my cycles have been going. They aren't my ideal, but they are working. I am building up to a place of ovulating, and then clearly to the second half of my cycle, and then having a healthy period. So that's what I'm looking for right now, and that and prenatals are my number three thing that I'm doing to prepare for pregnancy. All right, let's get on to number four. I have been paying down debt and creating more margin in our lives. And I say I've been paying down debt. My husband has been doing his fair share, definitely. We've both been working on just paying down different debt that we have and just getting things ready. So financially, it's not such a giant change. We're trying to create just more margin in our lives financially. So one of the ways that I'm so glad this worked out, I don't know if we were all that intentional, it just happened to work out, and thank you Jesus that it did, because it's creating margin and we're trying to stick with it, even though I can be an impulse buyer and still want a house. But we decided to stay in our apartment rather than upgrading or getting that part of our lives figured out, because we do live in such an amazing apartment. So instead of moving to a place that's going to cost hundreds and thousands of dollars more per year, and just the moving expenses and all that comes along with it, we decided to stay in our apartment and just get all the clutter out. And that has to do with sum of number 5. So I'll get to that eventually. We are able to afford a more expensive place, but that doesn't mean that we need to do that right now. It actually means for us that we need to wait and be patient. Oh my gosh, patience during the season is insane. Side note there. We have been using those $300 to $400 that we would have used if we would have moved into the place that we were about to move into. We've been using that money to pay off more debt and to get more things down and easier so that the monthly payments are lower, and it has helped so much. COVID really was hard, and we paid off a ton of debt after we got like tax returns and all sorts of things back, and we were starting to make more money because of our job situation. Throughout COVID, it's gotten a lot better, but right now we still have a lot of debt to pay off, but we just feel like we're at a much better financial place to be able to handle this giant transition of pregnancy and then into parenthood especially. Okay, the 5th thing that we are doing to prepare for pregnancy is we are getting rid of clutter. So we are selling absolutely everything that we can think of, almost more so than we should be, because we're just sentimental and nostalgic of things. And you know, what if we move into a house and we want that furniture? And we've literally tried to sell down everything possible, and it's been awesome. I didn't know how much stuff we had until we laid it all out. I would definitely recommend like just taking all your t-shirts, laying them out on your bed and going, okay, I've got too many. That's what I did. We had a garage sale. It was a community garage sale here with all the apartments. The first year they did it, not many people did it. I guess we just happened to read the newsletter that week or that month. I don't think they sent them out weekly. But lucky us, because we got to have a garage sale, which we didn't even know they did at our apartments. And I don't know how else we would have a garage sale unless we did it with some friends. But we learned a lot from that first garage sale, and I'll probably have to do a video just on garage sales and what we've learned, because there's so much that goes into it. I think as a kid, it's just, you just put things out and then someone mans the money and that's it. But there's so much pricing and there's so much laying it out in, you know, just a nice way. We got rid of got hair, everyone's got hairs everywhere. We got rid of so much clutter. It was amazing. And we were able to make a huge chunk of money to pay off more debt and to put more money away. I definitely recommend like using Facebook Marketplace, finding a garage sale to do with someone, because it was like not even that nice of stuff. It was just, we have too many hand towels. For some reason, we don't use hand towels that much, and we were given so much at the start of our marriage, and people bought those up like in a snap. Like everybody was picking it up, and finally someone just took it, but it was still like within the first hour or something of our garage sale. It was crazy. And that was like a day during the week. It wasn't even Saturday. I would have thought Saturday would have been the popular day. Friday actually was. Getting rid of anything. Like, you open up your mind to what you have and you're able to sell it. I mean, we did really low prices and it added up so fast. We were shocked with how much we made. Like, we thought the whole garage sale maybe would have made half of what we made. And maybe I'll share that number in the garage sale video. But it was absolutely incredible, and we didn't have huge items. It was all tiny items. And then all you do is have to like donate the stuff later, or you can keep it if it didn't sell. And that was really cool, because it was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna try to make money off this, but if it doesn't sell, I'll keep it. And so much of it we just got out of the house to make room for the pregnancy. All right, so those are my 5 things that I'm doing to prepare for pregnancy, and I hope it was a fun video to watch. And if you have some certain things that I didn't mention, feel free to mention them in the comments, and I'll be excited to read it, see what you are doing and what you did in order for this journey to just go a little bit smoother. I hope you have just the most lovely day. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.